Hey, welcome back everyone. It's a beautiful sunshiny day down here in southern Arizona, and I've got a night where I can sneak out and get out into the desert for one night. So I'm going to take you on an adventure, and we're going to go down a road called the Geronimo Trail. And whether you ride a motorcycle or travel in some kind of an overland vehicle, this is a really cool day trip from Bisbee, Arizona. That's what this video is about. We're gonna go camp out in the van tonight. We're gonna cook a good meal, and we're just gonna hang out down here in the Southwest in the desert. So stick around for this adventure. So the Geronimo Trail really gets you out into places that feel remote, and that's what's cool about it. And so it's about 80 miles from the start of the route in Douglas, Arizona. And to get to the beginning of this route, you would travel east on 15th Street, which turns into the Geronimo Trail. And for the first section of this drive, you're going to be going along the US-Mexico border. And you'll see the border wall off in the distance. And at some places, it's probably only about 50 yards away from the road that you're traveling on. After about 20 miles or so, you'll kind of get past the border wall, and then the landscape changes. You start to go into some canyons, you'll see a lot of rock formations, you'll go past a few dispersed campsites, through some washes and creek beds, and it just gets really beautiful. The rocks around here are really cool and jagged and rising up to the sky, and the elevation changes, you start to go up, and it becomes just a really cool part, my favorite part of this ride. I've ended up here in an area that's getting really interesting. You can see all the mountains behind me. There's a creek bed where there would be water flowing through here some times of the year, and it's just really turning into the most beautiful part of this road. And I'm probably about 25 or 30 miles into it. I know fairly soon, within the next 5 miles or so, we're gonna hit the New Mexico border, and then we'll be in New Mexico for the rest of this journey. But I just thought I would stop here right now. The sun is about to go down behind this mountain over here, and I'm just gonna pause, maybe make a cup of coffee here, take in this beautiful setting, and then continue further up this canyon. I'm really glad that this is a van trip because there's a chill in the air, and I know that it's going to get cold tonight. We'll probably get down into the 20s, so looking forward to staying warm inside the van and cooking some good food tonight. I don't know yet exactly where I'm going to spend the night. There are a lot of turnoffs in here that look like they would be really good campsites. Although, if there's enough time, I might try to make it up a little bit higher so I can catch some of this late afternoon sun. But it's going to go away here pretty quickly. As you approach New Mexico around the 25 to 30 mile mark, you'll climb up to the top of the pass and you can get such a fantastic view looking back to the west of the area that you just came up. From there, it continues into New Mexico and it twists and winds through some more canyons and some more riverbeds and some washes, and then it opens up. It's ranch land at this point. You can see mountains over to the east in New Mexico, and I found a spot to camp that I marked a couple years ago on my GPS that's just high and wide and open, and you can just see for miles and miles. I gotta tell you guys, this is pretty awesome. I'm out here in the desert and I'm probably the only one around for miles and miles. And I absolutely love this. I just love getting out in these wild and remote places like this, setting up a camp, having a good dinner, having a cocktail or a beer, and just chilling out. You know, I don't know what I would do without these kind of places in my life. You know, when I travel on a motorcycle, it's all about trying to be minimal, trying to pack as little as possible to have just what I need. But for my van trips, I kind of go to the other extreme. It's just a completely different experience. And, you know, I absolutely love it. I love traveling in my van just as much as on my motorcycle. And now I have a choice, you know, that's what it means to me. Now I have a choice to either go on a trip with my motorcycle or go in my van. Anyways, I'm just super stoked to be out here tonight in the desert, sharing this little camp out in the van with you. It's just a one-night expedition. We're here on the Geronimo Trail, and I'm just having a really good time. I'm glad you're along, and I'm getting ready to cook some dinner. Well, you can see we're getting a little bit low on the whiskey supply, but there's just enough Bullet bourbon left, Bullet rye, for a little poke this evening. Ooh, not much. I'm kind of glad I threw this wood on the roof of the van on the way out here, because there's not a lot of wood laying around here. I got a little campfire going now. The charcoal wasn't going as fast as I want, so I just threw some wood on top. I'm going to cut this big piece into some smaller chunks and have a good little fire going here. You know what? A little bit of cutting wood will warm me up too on a cold night. I got my long underwear on and the stars are out. The moonrise just happened. It's a full moon either tonight or maybe last night. It's not too bad, you know. There's a lot of places, maybe where you're at, where it's a lot colder and snowier right now. And that's one of the reasons I moved down to the desert here, is I got tired of living in the snow and in the rain, and I really like living down here with all the sunshine and this different climate. It suits me fine. I think I'm going to spend some time down here. I really like to use this little pan for making my campfires sometimes, because when I come to a place like this where there's no established fire ring, nobody's put rocks in a circle and built a fire there, I don't want to be the first one to do that. And then when I'm done and all that's left is ashes, I can just kind of like disperse those and nobody will know that I've ever built a campfire here. And again, it's just super simple, super easy, super convenient. And the important thing is that I don't make a fire where there haven't been any fires. It's a leave no trace ethic. And I just think that's so important when we travel out in the backcountry, to be respectful of the places we travel through. So I decided to cook in the van tonight instead of on the campfire. For whatever reason, it just seemed easier to cook on the propane stove and let this little campfire just provide some warmth and some ambiance. I've got some sausage ravioli, some broccoli, some mushrooms, and it's pretty tasty. It really hits the spot after today. It's a classic desert camping evening down here in southern Arizona, and I'm really glad that you're with me on this van expedition tonight. Right now I'm just gonna mow down on this dinner and then have another beer and enjoy this campfire. From here, the road generally heads north to the town of Animas, New Mexico, and it's wide open ranch country. probably not as scenic as the area that you just went through, but it is scenic in its own way with the grasslands and the mountains in the distance. The road eventually turns to pavement before you get to the small town of Animas. You can fill up with gas if you need it. And then you head west to reconnect with Highway 80 back south to Bisbee. If you have time, you might want to take a short 7-mile detour to the town of Portal. It's a great place to grab lunch. There's a really good cafe in Portal. And if you go about a mile further past the cafe, you will come to this spot here where you can see the entrance into the Chiricahua Mountains, and it's absolutely fantastic. If you have the time and you're looking for more adventure, you could continue all the way across the Chiricahua Mountains and return to Bisbee that way, or you could return to Highway 80 and head south back to Douglas and back to Bisbee. And so that would be the fastest way. It's all pavement going in that direction. If you do decide to go over the mountains, the Chiricahuas, it's a dirt road. It's not particularly hard, but it's adventurous, beautiful, scenic, and I highly recommend it if you have the time. And so that's it, the Geronimo Trail. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this short little one-day adventure from Bisbee, Arizona. I plan on doing some more of these videos because I've been getting a lot of questions from people that come down and visit us in Bisbee. You know, where can I go explore? What's a good day ride? And so I want to do some more videos like this where I share with you some of my favorite places to go on a day ride, whether you're riding a motorcycle or traveling in some kind of overland vehicle. These are the places to come and visit on your way to Bisbee, or if you just want to get out of town for a day and have an awesome day trip from Bisbee. So thanks for watching. There's going to be more of these to come and lots of other videos. Appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.